Hello everyone. If you're coming over from Gina with the Shabby Creek, she does blogging with breakfast every morning, so be sure to follow her. And this morning she did a question and answer, which was very good, so awesome job. And she asked me to do a Pass the Calf this morning, and I am going to talk about Google Plus tips and tricks. So welcome to everyone that's watching live, and welcome to any replay viewers. Be sure to share this with your followers if you think they would love to learn about Google Plus. And hello Gail, how are you? I haven't seen you in a long time. So Google Plus is something I've been doing since the very beginning, and you're asking, like, who is this girl and why does she know about Google Plus? I have 658,000 followers right now on Google Plus, and it continues to grow. So I do everything I can on Google Plus, share my stuff, and I've recently learned a few new tips and tricks with their new layout, and I thought it would be fun to share those today. So if we're ready to get started, let's go. If you can tell me where you're from, I'd love to know where you all are from, and see if we have how many viewers we have today. So Utah, hey, how are you? All right, so Gina did this Pass the Calf, and she's with Shabby Creek, Kansas and Florida, Connecticut. Awesome. So I'm in Tennessee this morning, and it's really cold here this morning. Missouri and Michigan. Hello, how are you? We have been having 70-degree weather in December, and this morning it is so cold. So we're a little frozen this morning. All right, so Gina with the Shabby Creek Cottage put out a blog post toolkit. If you have not seen it, Google that, Shabby Creek Cottage blog post toolkit, and think about purchasing that. I'm going to do one quote from that toolkit to tell you more about Google Plus and why we're doing this Periscope. Her quote: the number one thing you can do, and this was talking about SEO, hands down, is to share on Google Plus. So if you are concentrating on your SEO in 2015 or 2016, you need to be on Google Plus, and you need to be sharing your content there. You can share your new content and your old content. I'm going to give you a rundown of tips and tricks on what to do when you share your content to get the most mileage out of those shares. Alright, so for SEO, Google puts more weight to posts that perform well on Google+. So, of course, you want, number one, to put your stuff on Google+, and number two, you want to make sure it does as good as possible. And thank you all for sharing with your followers. I see Randy is sharing right now. Hi, Randy. Alright, so now, when you go to share your blog post on Google+, you can do a few things to make it just a little bit better and Google to really take notice of that post. So the first thing, when you write your post and you're doing it for SEO, you're going to pick those keywords that you want to go after and you want to grab and you want to get in the Google searches for. Take those keywords over to Google Plus when you share your post. The very first thing you're going to do up top is put an asterisk, put those keywords you're going after, and put another asterisk. When you share that, it's going to make those words bold, and it's going to tell Google that is what your post is about. So keywords in bold at the top, asterisks around it. Next two lines, hit enter. Next two lines are going to be a description of your post. 2 sentences max is what I recommend, and be sure to include those keywords again that you are posting about. Click enter again and click here for more information, click here to get the recipe, some call to action, and then your URL. I recommend only one URL per Google Plus post. You don't want Google to get confused about what URL those keywords are about. So one URL per Google Plus post. Alright, and then after your link, hashtags are huge on Google Plus. And I know, like, hashtags are falling off on Facebook. We don't use them. Pinterest, we hate them. Get your hashtags on Google Plus. So think about things that the post is about, but also think about what people are going to be searching for. So right now, today, go ahead and try this and put a Christmas post up and put hashtag Christmas. Enter again after the URL. Go to the next line. Start putting your hashtags. I put a ton of hashtags. So I'm Angie. You can search Angie Holden on Google Plus, and you can see my profile page, and you can see tons of hashtags at the bottom down there. People use hashtags tons on Google Plus. They click on them, they look at everything that is about that hashtag, they search for them. It's a way to get those posts seen, and the more times it's seen, the more times it'll be +1, the more times it'll be commented on, the more times that the more authority Google thinks you have. So hashtags, lots of hashtags. So think about, well, Karen, I did it the other day. I'm going to pull it up on my computer while I'm doing it. Hold on a second, I'm going to pull it up on my computer. Alright, so hashtags, I always try to think of, right now, Christmas will be doing great. And Karen is right, they did this huge new update, and sometimes my profile goes in and out of the new one, and I'm completely on the new one right now. And I did one 2 days ago, Karen, with the asterisks, and it worked. So, okay, so Randy can still bold as well. So I think the asterisks are still working, Karen. Maybe try again. Okay, so lots of hashtags that are trending right now. So maybe you posted something Christmas 4 weeks ago because you wanted to get it into search engines. Take that today or Monday, Tuesday next week and put it on Google Plus with hashtag Christmas. That's when people are going to be looking for it over there, and that's when you want to post it. So I definitely take your old content over there. Alright, so next we're going to talk about where to share. So you're going to type all that in the top, and then you're going to have an option at the bottom, and it's going to be like who you want to share this with. And it's probably going to default to public, which is fine. That would be a public post on your page or profile. But there's a couple other tricks you can use. Okay, so instead of public, you can click that and turn public off, and you can do a few things. First of all is communities. There are tons of communities, public communities on Google+. You can go to the communities tab on your profile and search things that your blog is about. Home decor, recipes, food, whatever your blog is about, search for it over there. Join some communities, look at the rules, make sure you're not violating any rules. Some of these communities are huge. I mean, we're talking 500,000 people in some of these home decor communities. So your post, instead of sharing to public, you can share to a home decor community and get seen by a ton more eyes, depending on how many followers you have on Google+. So that's one way to get your stuff in front of more people on Google+. The next thing, brand new feature, it's called collections. I've had a ton of fun playing with collections, and I really think that's the way Google Plus is going, and that's what you should really try to aim for over the next few months. What you do is you go into collections on your profile, and you can create collections and keep them within your brand is what I recommend. So I have one called Crafts by the Country Chic Cottage. Yes, you do have to be a member of the community. You have to join the community. Sometimes they moderate members, so you'll need to be accepted into that community. Then you can post to it. And again, be sure to look at the rules. Another tip, communities. You're going to be driven crazy by the notifications. A lot of times when you join a community, the notifications are on automatically. Go back in, turn them off. You don't want all those notifications in your email. I know that's one thing with Google Plus that drives everyone crazy. Turn your notifications off. Alright, collections. They're brand new. Go into your profile. You can make as many collections as you want. I think there may be a limit. And keep them with your branding. So do Crafts by the Country Chic Cottage. Do food. I have one called Gift Ideas that I've been experimenting with. So make as many collections as topics of your blog, perhaps, or you can get even more specific. So maybe I'm thinking about doing one that's just mason jar crafts because I do a lot of those. So think about specific things that people would search for that you could make a collection for. These collections are showing up in the top of Google Plus searches, and I'm getting a ton of interaction when I put my post on a collection versus a public post. So pick the collection. So when you do same thing that you did for the other posts, so bold your keywords, put your sentences, put your link, put hashtags, and then instead of picking public, pick the collection you want it to go in. Alright, So that's the 3 things. I also, I'm going to talk about it dying in just a minute. Okay, so I'm going to write that down right here. No, it's not dying. Also, I experimented a little bit on the new new Google Plus, even with pictures versus thumbnails. Still, pictures are king on Google Plus. You're going to want to delete the thumbnail it pulls up for your link and upload your own picture. Make the picture big. However, the new update seems to have gotten away from, if you were active on the old platform and you were using the landscape pictures, it seems to have gotten rid of the landscape being the king. So you can actually just do your portrait, do your Pinterest graphic is fine, instead of having to upload a different size for Google+. I think your Pinterest graphic will work just fine. So be sure to upload that picture and share the big picture instead of just your thumbnail link. So that brings me to a few things. Scheduling. Some people are using a scheduler for Google+. So there's 2 different types of Google Plus accounts. There's a profile and there's a page. I have a profile. I have my blog page, but I'm not active on it. I'm active on my profile page. There currently is no way that I know of, no good way to schedule to a profile page with a big picture. And the big picture is so important that I really think scheduling your new blog post to go to Google Plus with just a thumbnail is kind of going to be a waste of your time and going to drag your overall profile down. When people look at it, they want it to be pretty, they want to see something gorgeous, and they want to follow you. So be sure you're giving them that, and I think that the thumbnail links are going to be a waste of your time. So if you have a profile on Google+, then you're going to need to get on there, spend the 3 minutes, do the share of all your new blog content at a minimum, and hit post. If you have an extra 3 minutes during the day and can get on there and share something old, that's great. The more active you are on Google+, the better off you're going to be. So get on there for a few minutes, plus one some of your friends. Share something from a friend. You can make a collection that is all of your friends' best ideas and share their best ideas on Google+. And that way maybe it'll get picked up and get seen by more eyes. So I'm going to go ahead and answer the question of Google Plus dying. So months ago, it was last April or so, they announced some changes with Google Plus, and by changes, they're sort of renaming a few things. They're pulling some things out of Google Plus, like Hangouts, and putting them on something else. And some people that like those clickbait type articles and like to suck you in turned that into that Google Plus is dying. And it is not going away. They are rebranding it. It is a completely new interface as of a few weeks ago. You may or may not have the new interface. Up at the top, you may have to click a button that says, take me to the new Google Plus. But they completely rechanged it, like I said, 2-3 weeks ago. So I really don't think if they spent all that money to modify the platform that it's going anywhere. So it's not going anywhere. The collections are new, very hot, and something I think that we all need to get into and give a try and see if we can get some traction on Google Plus. But definitely not dying. So questions now, and I will try to write those down and answer any questions you have. Questions about Google Plus in general, questions about anything Google Plus, shoot them at me. As far as growing your following, that may be a question. I recommend being active, number one. Active over there every single day if you can be. Also, look at your profile. Is your, and I'm writing these questions down, go ahead. Is your profile something that people will want to follow? So look at how your picture appears and the image at the top. Google Plus encourages you to link out, so you can take a look at my profile, Angie Holden on Google Plus, if you want to look at that. click over to my profile. I have links to popular blog posts. I have links to all my other social media. I have links to all the other places I write for. So just make it something that people would want to follow or would click over and say, wow, I'm writing these questions down. Something that people would say, wow, and I want to follow her. So take a look at your profile and make sure that it fits all those criteria and that you're sharing those big, beautiful images so you keep your profile looking its best. Okay, so I'm going to answer the questions I've gotten so far, continue to ask them, and I will keep writing them down. So how much traffic will I get from Google+? My traffic does not come from Google+, but I get a lot of Google search traffic. So I think you need to look at it in a different way. So don't share on Google Plus for a month and then look at your analytics and say, there's nothing coming from plus.google.com. I'm going to stop. Look at today. What is your % Google search traffic? And in, say, 2 months of sharing on Google Plus, what is my % Google search traffic? And did that % go up? Because I'm going to be willing to bet it does, because your posts on Google Plus are going to give SEO weight to your post on your blog. And you should get more Google search traffic, not Google Plus traffic. So look at it in a different way. Don't be looking for referrals from plus.google.com. All right, second one I saw was, do I share my Google Plus posts on other social media? I share all my blog posts on every single social media. Something you can do, a little bit of a time saver. I put up a new post in the morning, new blog post in the morning. I try to post to Google Plus immediately. And then I copy and paste the link and the I said 2 sentences description with the keywords. I copy and paste that portion to Facebook and it pulls over just fine. And then I can upload my picture to Facebook if I'm going to do that and post the same wording to Facebook, and it saves me, a couple minutes. But no, I don't. Other than that, that's the only other way I use my Google Plus posts. And I think Karen asked, how many posts over on Google Plus do I do a day? It varies. It varies to how busy I am and how crazy life gets. And this is the holiday season, and I'm sorry, and it's crazy. But I try to do, so I publish on my blog 6 to 7 days a week, and I try to put those posts over there. Every day I might not get there because life gets insane, but I try to put those posts over there. I try to post something of someone else's, and then if you look at my if you look at my profile right now, there's some affiliate links. I've been experimenting with affiliate links with some success on Google Plus, and I'm going to keep doing that and see where that goes. So I have been doing an affiliate link over there. I can report back some results after a few months, I think, but I don't want to report those right now. I've only been doing affiliates over there for, I would say, a week and a half, 2 weeks. But yeah, it has been successful so far, so I'm going to keep experimenting with that. So I've been doing an affiliate link and maybe something older of mine, maybe not, depending on how crazy the day gets. So, any more questions? Problems? The new Google Plus layout takes a little getting used to, but I didn't have a whole lot of trouble. Everything is basically back in the same place it was. They renamed a few things, so it might be a little wonky for you for a little while, but I've gotten used to it over the past few weeks. Okay, how important is sharing others? So, for me on social media, it's important to balance my shares of my own content with shares of others. It's not necessarily important for Google Plus, but just for someone looking at my page, I don't want it to be all me. So I always try to balance it a little bit. And plus, share the love. Like, I can share something of Gina's with the Shabby Creek and get her some Google Plus juice, and that's really awesome, and she can get that love from my Google Plus account. So I do try to share others, and post on there. And it also shows Google that you're being active on Google+. So instead of, you know, just posting your own content, never getting on there for any other reason, or, you know, auto-publishing your own content and never really logging on, it shows Google+ that I'm actually on there and active, and sharing other people, giving people some love with a +1, which amps up their post a little bit in SEO. So I try to, at a minimum, every time I get on, every time I log on, I run down as many posts as I can and +1 my friends, minimum, and then maybe share something. Yes, I am on catch.me, and I will also upload this video to YouTube on Monday on my YouTube channel, and that's Angie Country Chic, or you can search Angie Holden on YouTube and get there. And so this will be on YouTube on Monday. It's on Catch right now. If you have any questions that you forgot, want to talk about later, tweet me at Country Chic Cott, C-O-T-T, and I will get those answered. My blog is thecountryschiccottage.net, and you can find all of my social media links over there. If you need my Twitter, YouTube, any of that, you can find those in my sidebar. Any more questions? Problems? Are you loving Google Plus or hating it? Most people hate Google Plus, but I think you'll find it's worth it with your Google search traffic. So give it a try over the next few months, and maybe you'll see some results. All right, thank you all for joining me today. Thank you to Gina for doing Pass the Calf with me today. It was a ton of fun, and I'm glad everyone got maybe a little bit of information out of this. Play around with those collections. That's, if you take nothing away from today but that, play around with the collections on Google+. See how they work out for you. See if you can't give your blog post a bump in SEO, the SEO game, and hopefully you'll get some traffic out of it. All right, thank you all for joining me today, and follow along on Periscope for even more. I think I'm going to do a Periscope tomorrow, so follow me on Periscope. Maybe you can join tomorrow. Thanks, y'all. Bye.